As we entered the 21st century, the hallmark of children's media was actually multimedia. Kids wanted to experience brands and characters on all the platforms they accessed. So we had this sense of media convergence. They wanted to see their characters in TVs, in movies, in video games, in books, and cell phones, and apps, and they wanted to hear the music, and they wanted to look at it online. They wanted it everywhere. From a content and programming perspective, there was this trend then towards embracing the dissolution of boundaries between the media and focusing on cross-platform branding as a means of keeping kids' attention and eventually their parents' wallet. Online services and capabilities were growing. In 2005, YouTube debuted and grew quickly in popularity with kids, and this helped set the stage for the enjoyment and proliferation of streaming video services like Netflix, which started their streaming video that we know of today in 2007. True on-demand, anytime access to video content. Similar issues were arising on the video game side too. In 2001, Microsoft Xbox was the first console to integrate online gaming capabilities. Online gaming, both console and computer-based, took hold in children's lives and moved from being solely in the living room to being in virtual spaces. Massive multiplayer online role-playing games and virtual worlds such as Club Penguin, Neopets, Webkins, and all those others began to take hold. And in fact, things like Club Penguin and Webkins were actually kind of the first precursor to teenagers using social media. As we move into the most recent and our current decade, online streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime have been growing significantly. And actually, we see a higher adoption rate and retention rate by households with families than those without families for these types of services. Netflix and Amazon in particular have responded by starting to create their own content, and in many ways are functioning like the early networks were. And in fact, there are several shows that have been produced for kids on Amazon Prime and on Netflix, and they've been quite successful, winning Emmy Awards and the like. Mobile devices, and especially tablets for use with kids, are now the new norm for most families. And that all kind of started with the iPad, first released in 2010. In addition, YouTube has continued to be a dominant player for kids in this decade and consistently ranks in the top 3 websites or apps for kids between the ages of 5 and 14. And now, of course, there's YouTube Kids, which was released in 2015 as a way to kind of censor and corral content for kids. And remember that multimedia cross-platform branding that I mentioned before? Well, Angry Birds is a really prime example of how this multimedia cross-platform branding works. It began as a casual game and extended into other media such as film, television, and even theme parks. And now there's children's books, there's movies, there's second versions of movies, and this is all part of that multimedia cross-platform branding. On the interactive side, social media and online gaming have found a large space in kids' lives and in the marketplace. And in fact, we actually start to see the combination of the two, social media, kind of the social atmosphere, as well as online gaming, for kids in games like Minecraft, which was created by a small developer in Sweden in 2011 and then purchased by Microsoft in 2014. And it showed that a multi-platform game could have a strong kid audience and find incredible financial success. After all, Microsoft wouldn't have bought it if it didn't have success, correct? In addition, not only do we see Minecraft, but we see other games more recently. So Minecraft kind of targeted more towards a younger audience, 9 and 10-year-olds, whereas Fortnite is for a little bit older audience and for young adults as well. In addition, we've got other types of social media, and we've seen kids, especially teens, moving from platform to platform. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Kik, and all these new services and capabilities are becoming available very rapidly. So what's next? Virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, they're all moving into the mainstream. The success of Pokemon Go in 2016 was a key example for augmented reality. And virtual reality has been growing and improving quite a bit over the past few years, and soon wireless VR sets will be available. While it's uncertain what the future brings, it is clear that children will be at the forefront of it all as early adopters and dragging their parents along for the ride.